Today we feel our hearts. It's Valentine's Day. Well, it was. We had ours yesterday. But today on Smackdown, it was their Valentine's Day. Otis and Mandy have their Valentine's Day date. What could possibly go wrong? Will Otis win Mandy's heart, or will everybody's prediction come true and Mandy rejects him? Well, let's find out as we review Smackdown, February 14th, 2020. The show started off with a moment of bliss, where we have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And this is the one thing I'm actually going to give WWE a little bit of praise on, is that they don't have moment of bliss every single week. The thing is that I don't like about these talk shows is how WWE just have these every single week. You know, like with Miz TV. Like every single week it was a Miz TV episode. Miz TV, Miz TV, Miz TV. Like every single week was a Miz TV episode. But Moment of Bliss, they only use it sparingly. So I will give WWE actually some credit here by not having Moment of Bliss every single week. So I will say that Alexa's guest was none other than Carmella. They go back and forth for a little bit. Carmella explains what happened to her friendship with Bayley, and she says Sasha Banks happened. So she's putting the blame all on Sasha Banks. Yeah, it truly is Sasha Banks' fault. If Bill Goldberg wins the Universal Championship at the hands of the Fiend, then I guess we should all blame Sasha Banks. If Becky Lynch decides to go on a break, I guess it's Sasha Banks' fault. I mean, honestly, everything is Sasha Banks' fault. Let's remember that, guys. Everything is Sasha's fault. Everything is her fault because Carmella believes that Sasha Banks is the reason why she's no longer best buds with Bayley. I mean, come on. It's not like more than one person can't be friends with one person. I mean, honestly. Honestly. One person has bazillion friends. Seriously. They're making it sound like that one person is only allowed to be friends with Bayley. And it seems like... And the way they talk about how Sasha Banks is blamed for everything, they make it sound like that Sasha Banks is the only one that's Bayley's friend, and she's telling Bayley to turn on all of her old friends. I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, Carmella and Alexa Bliss won't be saying, it's all Sasha's fault. It's all Sasha's fault. They won't be saying it's all Sasha's fault when Bayley turns her back on Sasha Banks. They won't be saying that then. When Bayley turns on Sasha, they won't be saying, it's all Sasha's fault. They won't be saying it's Sasha's fault now, will they? But anyway, Bayley comes out, says that this has nothing to do with Sasha, goes over to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, starts bragging to them about how they've beaten them last year. And also, Bayley also called Alexa Shorty. I'm surprised Alexa Bliss didn't get out of her chair and wanted to punch Bayley in the face for calling her Shorty. I mean, Jesus Christ, we have so many short jokes and all that shit. Like Bayley called Alexa short. She bragged about how she's beaten her. And then Alexa Bliss just sat there. She just sat there and let Bayley insult her. She just let Bayley completely insult her and just not say anything. I get Carmella was like butting in and getting involved at some points. But I mean, Jesus Christ, Alexa, you've insulted people when you were a heel and they all bit back at you. You're just going to sit there and be all like, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you beat me. So what? Like, she just sat there like, yeah, so what if I am? This is so silly. Alexa Bliss is supposed to be a babyface. She's supposed to be battling back. biting back against the heels, honestly. But Carmella didn't want to wait for her match. She had it, and she wanted her match right away with Bayley. So they were the opening match. They were the main event last week, and this week they're the opening show. Bayley gets the win here, puts her feet on the ropes. It was actually a pretty decent match. And Naomi appeared, and next week we're going to be getting Naomi versus Carmella. And the winner will face Bayley at the Super Showdown. Yes, they are still doing women's matches at the Super Showdown. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't want to see any more women's matches in Saudi. I thought it was a one and done, but it seems like they're going to still be doing women's matches in Saudi Arabia. Just, Jesus Christ, just don't have a bunch of people. Just do not have people in the crowd throwing water bottles at them this time. Just please, enough of that. So yeah, they announced that Lacey Evans will be making her return next week, and also Goldberg will be appearing next week. Yay! Can't wait to see Goldberg. But anyway, we had Sheamus taking on Chad Gable and Apollo Crews in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Two guys couldn't beat one guy. And Sheamus gets the victory with a bro kick on Apollo Crews. Hulk Hogan was interrupted by Bray Wyatt. Didn't really care about this, to be honest. Sami Zayn and Cesaro had a segment. It seems like they were preaching about how Shinsuke Nakamura should be given back his Intercontinental Championship for what happened a few weeks ago. It was interrupted by Elias. And Sami Zayn was trying to make his point. And also, I noticed they were in Canada. And I find this really funny because they were in Canada. I actually had no idea that's where they were. But I find it hilarious that their own Canadian, that Sami Zayn, who is a Canadian, the fans were booing him. I thought that was funny that the fans were booing their own country guy. And I know the fans in Canada hate Bayley. They booed her when she was a babyface. So it's like the people of Canada just hate Bayley, I guess. But Sami Zayn, on the other hand, he's from Canada, and they were booing the crap out of him, which I thought was funny. But Braun Strowman ends up coming out. He ends up taking out all the security guards. Sami and Sami Zayn run away like two headless chickens, two headless chooks, and Braun Strowman just threw a security guy out of the ring. Yeah, I'm not really invested here. Otis and Mandy, they had their little segment next. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was left disappointed. Because I've been saying for weeks that this has been one of the best feuds that WWE has really been producing. It's been way better than Bobby Lashley and Lana. And I felt like the only way they should end this storyline is by having Otis and Mandy get together. But what did they do? They had Dolph Ziggler interrupt the Valentine's Day date, and they just had him. Otis arrived where Mandy told him to meet him, and Otis saw Dolph Ziggler sitting at the same table with Mandy Rose. And Otis was left heartbroken. He dropped his flowers that he was going to give Mandy and walked away. I'm very disappointed in WWE, man. I'm very disappointed in WWE for not doing the right thing. Yes, this gives sympathy to Otis. Indeed it does. And it puts a lot of heat on Dolph Ziggler for stealing Dolph's... It puts a lot of heat on Dolph Ziggler for stealing Mandy from Otis. But what this all possibly means now, we're most likely going to be getting a feud with Heavy Machinery and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. That is most likely the feud we're going to be getting. But my question is, I don't really know what's going to happen. Is Mandy going to apologize for what happened? If I'm going to make a guess, I'm going to be making a prediction. Now, this is a bold prediction. I'm making a prediction that Sonya Deville is involved in this. I have a feeling that Sonya Deville has something to do with all this. Sonya Deville is clearly jealous of Mandy. She's clearly jealous that Mandy is happy. So she's involving Dolph Ziggler. She's involving Dolph Ziggler in this storyline just to keep Otis at bay. What I also think, this is something I have also thought about, because we all know Sonya Deville's a gay lesbian, who's to say she's involving Dolph Ziggler just to get Otis away from Mandy? She's not trying to get Dolph Ziggler to fall in love with Mandy. It's more like she's trying to get Dolph and Otis to fight over Mandy, but then she takes Mandy all for herself because she's a gay lesbian. Because she's gay, she'll probably want to take Mandy all for herself. Because she's gay, she's a lesbian. So that's what I'm thinking here. Because people keep talking about how this gay lesbian angle is supposed to be happening between Mandy and Sonya, that's how I think it could all lead. I feel like Sonya Deville is going to be the biggest heel coming out of all this. She's going to come out like a real prick. She's going to stab Otis in the heart, reveal that she did all this just so that she could be with Mandy Rose. Because she loves Mandy Rose. Now, on the other hand, could this all potentially lead to Mandy Rose turning babyface for not liking Sonya's actions? I mean, I really want to hope Mandy turns face, but at this point, I really don't trust WWE. This was their chance. This was their chance to do it right. But with everything I told you, I don't think they're ever going to turn Mandy face, man. I don't think they're going to turn her face. As much as I hope they will, I've just got that funny feeling they won't. If they do go with the lesbian angle like I was telling you, I really hope Mandy eventually finds this uncomfortable and she rejects Sonya and she wants to go with Otis. And again, this all upsets Sonya. But again, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt this is what they're going to do. I mean, I really don't want this to be how the storyline ends. I really don't want the storyline to end with Sonya Deville, taking advantage of Otis and involving Dolph Ziggler to get Otis busy and have Otis away from Mandy just so that she can take Mandy all for herself and just start this little gay lesbian storyline with Mandy Rose. I'm not a fan of that, honestly. That is possibly the worst ending possible. The only reason why I'm pitching this is what they're going to do is because I feel like this is exactly what WWE is probably going to do. I don't want the storyline to end like this, but if that's what they're going to do, then Sonya Deville is going to end up becoming one of the biggest heels in all of the company. Because she ruined one of the best storylines. Well, I can't say it was her. I have to say WWE ruined one of the best storylines. This is one of the best storylines, and you can't ruin this. You shouldn't be ruining something that fans are invested in. I feel like the fans were dead after that segment because I felt like the crowd, really wanted to see Otis and Mandy get together, but at the end of the day, that just didn't happen. So I'm very sad. I'm very sad for Otis, man. Feel real bad for the guy. It does give him sympathy, and it will make the crowd feel bad for him, and it will get him even more over. And I really do hope they do continue on with this storyline, and I do hope at the end of the day that this storyline ends with Mandy and Otis getting together. That's all I want. All I want this storyline to end is with Otis and Mandy together. I don't care how they get there. All I want is this storyline to end with Otis and Mandy getting together. And then finally was our main event. The Miz and John Morrison versus Roman Reigns and a partner of his choice, and that happened to be Daniel Bryan. King Corbin was there. He got banned, but he appeared anyway. And Roman and Daniel Bryan get the victory here. Roman Reigns pins The Miz. John Morrison and The Miz are challenging for the tag team titles, and John Morrison is already losing. I know he didn't take the pin, but I mean, are you kidding me? These two guys are challenging for the tag team titles in like a few weeks before Super Showdown, and you're already making them lose. Yeah, such credible opponents, WWE. They are such credible opponents for the tag team titles. Give me a break. They shouldn't be losing. They should not be losing for a while, but whatever. It's WWE for you. Anyway, guys. Yeah, that's everything that happened on SmackDown. I feel like this was a bit of a bummer of an episode. Not just because of the Otis Mandy situation, but I just wasn't really fully invested in this episode. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up if you guys enjoyed the video. Comment your thoughts down below if you've got anything to say. And I will see you all next time for another video. See you guys then.